Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Oh गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय हरि बोलो राधा रमन हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे हराय नमो कृष्ण यादवाय नमः यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गोपाल गोविंद राम श्री मधुसूदन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन गिरिधारी गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओ निताय गौरंग बोलो निताय गौरंगा निताय 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 गौरंगा जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन घोर हरे ओ पतित पावन घोर हरे नित्य 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 गौरंगा जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन घोर हरे गौरा 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 हरे जय सच्चिनंदन घोर हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सतश्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindha Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की श्री प्रभुपाद की प्रभुपाद अनुगा की समवेत भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे All glories to Samal devotees, all glories to Samal devotees, all glories to Samal devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, same. Yathaiva suryat prabhavanti varah punascha tasmin pravishanti kale bhutani bhumau stirajangamani tata haraveva gunapravaha. Please repeat. Yata suryat prabhavanti varah punascha tasmin pravishanti kale bhutani bhumau stirajangamani tata haraveva gunapravaha. Yathaiva suryat prabhavanti varah punascha tasmin pravishanti kale bhutani bhumau stirajangamani tata haraveva gunapravaha. Yathaiva suryat prabhavanti varah punascha tasmin pravishanti kale bhutani bhumau stirajangamani tata haraveva gunapravaha. For those who are online, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Text 15. Tata haraveva gunapravaha. Yatha, as, eva, Certainly, Suryat, from the sun, Prabhavanti, is generated. Varah, water. Punah, again. Cha, and. Tasmin, unto it. Pravishanti, enters. Kale, in due course of time. Bhutani, all living entities. Bhumau, to the earth. Sthira, not moving. Jangamani, and moving. Tata, similarly. Harau, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eva, certainly. Gunapravaha, emanation of material nature. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: during the rainy season, water is generated from the sun, and in due course of time, during the summer season, the very same water is again absorbed by the sun. Similarly, all living entities, moving and inert, are generated from the earth, and again, after some time, they all return to the earth as dust. Similarly, everything emanates from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and in due course of time, everything enters into Him again. Purport: because of their pure fund of knowledge, impersonalist philosophers cannot understand how everything comes out from the Supreme Person and then merges into Him again. As Brahma Samhita confirms, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotishvashesha Vasudhadi Vibhuti Binnam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantamasesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamahang Bhajami. Transcendental rays emanate from the body of Krishna. And within those rays, which are the Brahman effulgence, everything is existing. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Matstani Sarva Bhutani. Although Krishna is not personally present everywhere, His energy is the cause of all creation. The entire cosmic manifestation is nothing but a display of Krishna's energy. The two examples given in this verse are very vivid. During the rainy season, the rain, by rejuvenating the production of vegetables on earth, enables man and animals to obtain living energy. When there is no rain, food is scarce, and man and animals simply die. All vegetables, as well as moving living entities, are originally products of the earth. They come from the earth, and again they merge into the earth. Similarly, the total material energy is generated from the body of Krishna. And at such a time, the entire cosmic manifestation is visible. When Krishna winds up his energy, everything vanishes. This is explained in a different way in Brahma Samhita. Yasyai kanishvashita kalamatha valambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandhanata Vishnur mahan sahayasya kala vishesho govindamadi purusham tamahang bhajami. This entire material creation comes from the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the time of annihilation again enters into Him. This process of creation and dissolution is made possible by the breathing of the Mahavishnu, which is only a plenary portion of Krishna. Om Tat Sat, Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yesterday we have read Yata Taror Mula Nishechanena. This is also a similar shloka, reflecting great Mahavakyas from the Vedas. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti tad vishanti. It's also a statement from the Upanishad. Whatever is existing is coming out of that supreme absolute truth and then winding up back inside. In fact, only the supreme absolute truth Krishna exists. Every other existence is a dependent existence. That's why the absolute truth, Janmadyasya yataha, from whom everything comes. Who is that? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then Janmadyasya yataha anvayad yataratas charteshva vignya swarat. That supremely independent person, the supreme reality. From him comes everything. Here is another example that from the earth comes everything. See the statement from the Bhagavatam and how we treat the earth. Today, if you look at what's happening in the world, here Bhagavatam is stating everything is coming from the earth. You may be wondering, what about me? Did I come from the earth? Yes. That is spoken about in the Bhagavatam and the Vedic literature also. Very detailed understanding of how everything comes from the earth. Both Stavara, Jangama, moving and non-moving, they all come from the earth. Then is earth not your mother? Then, if everything is born from the earth, is earth not your mother? That is why it is considered to be the mother, one of the 7 mothers. You take anything, you can trace it back to the earth. You can trace it back to the earth. Any product, whether it is jewelry or it is wood that you use for furniture or it is stones that you use or the ring that you put or any type of being, they all can be related to coming from the earth. And they are all fed by the earth. All types of food. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava. Krishna states that in Bhagavad Gita. Annad bhavanti bhutani. All living entities subsist on food grains. And that is produced from the earth. Minerals from the earth. Today they are drilling oil from the earth. Gas from the earth. Fire from the earth. You can name it. You get everything from the earth. All the elements get absorbed in the earth. All the elements get absorbed in the earth. So if you study from the scripture, you will understand how important Mother Earth is. Bhumi is. What a wonderful personality she is. And how she is bearing the weight and burden of all of us. Sustaining us. Sustaining us. And so many different life forms are inside the earth. Right on the surface itself, if you go a few feet, you will see millions of worms and other types of insects all exist. You will learn that in biology. Varieties. But today, 1,000 varieties or 10,000 varieties, species of living beings are killed every year. They're becoming extinct. Because of the way man, the only species out of the 84 lakh species, he treats the rest of the species like this. Amazing person this fellow is. This fellow called human being. Amazing person. He is a threat to all other species. He is a threat to Mother Earth. He is a threat to the sun, to the moon, to everybody. What a lousy creature he has become. He is the one who exploits the earth the most. He deforests. He drills the earth. He sucks the oil out. Then he does huge mining. Takes all the gold, the stones, everything out. Converts everything into money. Greedy, lusty human being. Converts everything into currency. Cut the earth, cut that, pound this, put that, mess up everything. No value for anything. No value. But you look at this, the Bhagavatam is saying, actually, if you live in harmony with the earth, with Mother Bhumi, she will continue to give you in plenty, in abundance, so much. Everything she gives and everything goes back to her only, it's mentioned here. It goes back to the earth. Dust thou art, to dust thy returneth. In Christian theology they will say, you are mannu, to mannu you will go back. And they have proved themselves, na mannu da, I have no value. The way I have acted, I am clear, useless dirt. So, the principle here is that there is one origin, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we can recognize that Supreme Absolute Truth, then we can understand everything in this world. Everything we can understand. The root, the origin. But if you refuse to understand that, everything else becomes completely confusing. And everything is a mess. Why? You don't understand. God is the center. The absolute truth, Krishna, is the center of everything. You cannot deny it. You cannot deny it. So, in the language that people use nowadays, they are very careful about not saying anything about religion, about God. Secular country and secularism does not mean that you should not discuss about religion and God at all. Secular means we look at every religion equally. If you want to practice religion, you can practice. But our country is not taking up one religion alone. That's the meaning of secularism, actually, originally. So in India, you will see it's very easy to be secular. It's not that recently India became a secular country. Even during Yudhishthira's times, there were so many people following so many types of things. They were all directed towards the absolute truth. And history of India is pluralism in religion. Different types of religion, no problem. They all live together. They all live together. It's not that India has been intolerant towards any particular religion or promoted any particular religion. It's promoted Sanatana Dharma. That's all. It did not promote Hinduism at all. Hinduism came only in modern times. It came from Rajaram Mohan Roy and all of them during the British times. This is called Hinduism. Modern Hinduism. But Hinduism, using that word, is supposed to be ever existent. It is Sanatana Dharma. We are not practicing another religion called Hinduism. There was only one religion, the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality, the reality. And everybody was worshipping that Supreme Truth in different ways, and it was all perfectly all right. As long as you're worshipping the Absolute Truth. You may call him Allah, somebody will call him Yahweh, somebody will call him Krishna. I understand. You're worshipping that same Supreme Person. So no problem. That is how India was. That's why you see they didn't feel any bad. Mughals say, you worship Allah. I'll also come and worship with you if you want. But I have a more detailed understanding of Allah from the Vedic literature. You may not have. But it doesn't matter, you're worshipping that same Allah. That's very good. This is how India was very tolerant towards all religion. It did not say that only our God exists. No other God exists. If you belong to another religion, I'll kill you. There is only one God. It doesn't say that. Never said that. But if you see in the Christian history, you will see that. Colonialism, and within that was shrouded aggressive evangelism. converting everybody to Christian, otherwise you die. They had even a theory that those who are not Christians don't have a soul. If you become Christian only, you get a soul. It's actually true. That is why they're looking, he's an animal. I mean, he's no soul. Konna parvala. It's not a sin at all. Because there is no soul. I was very stunned to hear that this is what they believed in. And they really believed in. Why did they make such a thing? Is to bring people under control. So you will see the entire religion is being used to rule people and control people. That was not what religion was. The Abrahamic faith, especially Christian religion, I am not a Hindu fanatic that I am speaking this. I am saying even today Hindus are also doing something similar only. Fanatically. But that is not what it was. The Sanatana Dharma is, there is one supreme Godhead. Everybody should worship Him and everybody agrees. Whatever religion you want to follow does not matter. Religion does not matter. That's why Krishna is telling, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Give up all varieties of religion and surrender to me. He's telling, it is very bewildering. It's very bewildering. At the same time, he's telling in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever religious principles are not followed and somebody upsets it, I'll come and set it right. Whether it is Muslim religion or Christian religion, Hindu religion, I'll come and set it right. That's the point. You must understand. For Christian religion, Jesus Christ came. Before that, Joseph. Before that, somebody came to set it right. It is sent by Krishna only. Is the absolute truth. Similarly, Muhammad came. And similarly, great acharyas came in your religion also. Because all of them are effort made to understand the absolute truth. This is very clearly Prabhupada explains that in the Bhagavatam. So he went ahead and said, whenever you spoke about Jesus Christ, he had tears in his eyes. He said, this one individual, he gave so much of himself to make people God conscious. To make people God conscious. Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. The whole modern Hinduism is based on the idea that your religion, you say, my religion also I will do. But you do not know, what your religion is. Your religion is Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. Don't go around fighting with everybody. That's how it has been. We don't mind worshipping because you are worshipping the same Supreme Lord. Inge vandu thanni, anga vandu water, inge vandu neer, anga vandu vellam. What does it matter? It quenches the thirst. It quenches the thirst here. You call different names. Like Prabhupada said, beautiful example, he said, Krishna is like the sun, he told. So they thought, this Hinduism, something. In America, the sun is there. Do you call it American sun? And in India, should I call it Indian sun? And in Africa, should you call it African sun? He said, no. Sun is sun everywhere. You cannot say, my son. It is my son. Then everybody will start saying, my property. Right? I own this property according to registration from here up to the moon is my property. Up to the sky. Adala nadula sun vanda, it is also my property. So all this false logic is illusion. People are simply fighting in the name of religion. We all belong to that same Supreme Person. He's telling that very clearly. He said, Mama yonir mahat brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavah sarva bhutanam. Very clearly saying, Aham bija pradapita mama yonir mahat brahma. I am the seed-giving father. Aham bija, seed, pradapita, father. I am the father of all living entities in this whole existence. I am the one who actually impregnates the dull material nature with souls, brings it to life. And all these souls come out with various bodies. One insect body, one whale's body, one mammoth's body, one small horse body, dog body, human body, demigod body. They all come out of material nature like that. But they are all belonging to me. This is Sanatana Dharma. So, they come out of material nature, come out of the earth, it is mentioned. But they are all spirit souls. Even the earth is one spirit soul. She has taken the special responsibility of becoming the mother of all the living entities on this planet. In this way, there are so many planets like that. They are all mothers for the creatures living in that planet. And they provide. So we are all equal because we are all sons, daughters, whatever you want to call children of that one supreme truth, reality. This is what is being told in Bhagavatam. This is what is being told in Bhagavad Gita. This is what is being told by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. If you want to call it Hinduism, you can. There's no problem about titles and names and labels. Understand what is the content. People fight about the names and this thing without knowing what is the content. What is the content you don't know. Give that gift is meant for me. No, it's meant for me. It came from my birthday. Both are still ulla paatha onnume illa. Somebody has fooled them. Nothing is inside. Why are we fighting about the packaging and label and whom it is addressed to and everything? Inside, nice air. That's all. Gas. You fought over it. You don't know what is the content and you fight over labels, titles. So, what religion is explained very nicely by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Religion should lead you to the Supreme Godhead. Religion should lead you to love of Godhead. That's why these beautiful examples are giving here. Mother Earth. Everything is coming from Mother Earth. Just like that, everything comes from that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yato va yemani bhutani jayante. This concept we should understand. This is called theology. Science of God. You're learning a lot from your science subject matter about science and matter and how it behaves and this law and that law and everything. Do you know how everything comes, from where it comes? If you ask anybody, they still don't know. They're trying to find out. We'll tell you very soon. But here it is very clearly stated. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is stated. What is that shloka that says that everything material and spiritual comes from me? What? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajate mam buddha bhava samanvita. Everything material and spiritual comes from me. Buddha bhava samanvita, intelligent person will understand this and he will worship me. Very simple religion. Wherever it comes from, the source providing for us, we should respect. All provided by. So it's all charity actually. Biggest charity for you. Your body, the material world you live in, the air, the food, the water, the crops, the fruits, the flowers, the hill, the valley, the rivers, the oceans. Everything provided by that Supreme Person. Through His agents, Bhumi, through His agents, Sun, Moon. All of it are His agents. They actually, moon nourishes the vegetables. Krishna is saying that in Bhagavad Gita. Where is he saying? Where is he saying in Bhagavad Gita? Huh? No. He speaks particularly, as moon I nourish the vegetables. You don't know. How many are Bhakti Shastri students here? Great. Where he says it? Soma bhutvo rasatmaka. Soma means moon. I make it nourishing. Moonlight nourishes the vegetables. Who knows that? Nobody knows that. Actually, it's a great research you can do and become a big scientist. Why? Krishna has said it. Through the moon, vegetables are nourished. Soma bhutvo rasatmaka. Ham vaishvanaro bhutva. Praninam deham ashrita. Pranapana samayukta pachami annam chaturvidam. I am the fire of digestion in your stomach. Look at these statements. Nobody dares make a statement like this anywhere because they don't think like that at all. But the person is making such a statement means he must be doing it. Because whoever thought that I will tell in the political rally, I am the fire in the stomach. He'll never think of that. Because his mind is so small, where is the money? He's thinking. But Krishna is telling the statements he makes, nobody will think of making because they will never imagine it to be like that. They'll never imagine themselves to be the fire in the stomach. You can be great, but you'll never think you're so great that you can say, I am in everybody's heart. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Like it's mentioned here. I am situated in everybody's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshu arjuna tishtati. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. He's telling, I am situated in everybody's heart. Who will even think of saying these things? After Krishna has said it, many people are saying it now. I publicly saw where I was invited from a very, very big so-called God man. He came here also. And I sat in his car and he called me, come for the program. And in the program, he was asked, how can I always be following you, thinking of you and all that? He said, I am in your heart. Oh gosh. I thought you must be mad. He's definitely be mad. I got up and left. I simply got up and left. Actually, he said it. Because he's thinking like that. Everybody is puffing him up so much, he's becoming puffed up. But he cannot be in everybody's heart. Krishna is saying, Sarvasya ham hridi sannivishto. Why is he able to say that? Because he is actually in everybody's heart. Antaryami Krishna. Nobody will think of saying these things. If you read Bhagavad Gita, you'll say, either person must be fully mad to say these things. Totally mad. Or he must be totally true. Nothing in between is possible. Right? Just you see the things that he's saying in Bhagavad Gita. I never thought of saying these things in my life because I never have these type of experiences. Look at the things Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. I am the Himalayas. I am the Ganges. Everything great you see, it's me. Is he not saying that? Now, who has got the guts to say it? And who will even think of saying it? So from that logic only you must understand, this person is telling something which is so unbelievable for me. And I have not seen these things. But it is true. It is true. When the Bhagavatam says, look at the earth, it is giving you everything. It's a statement. It's a theology. It's a philosophy. And it is a truth being spoken. You may not believe in it because you're educated under a different epistemology. According to the Western thought, all your education system is according to what they teach you and how to learn and all that, systems and methods. So you are conditioned to that. But normally everybody walking around on the street in India in the past will just immediately believe in it. Because that is their methodology, epistemology, method of understanding the truth, the knowledge systems. That's how it is. And if you find it difficult to switch from that to this type of thinking, because they will say this is faith-based thinking. You are faith-based, you have no reasoning. Oh, as though you have great reasoning? Yeah, and how do you reason? I use my brains, I use my thought process, I use my intelligence and all that. So you have faith in that? Yes or no? You have faith in that or not? I don't have faith that you have in your knowledge and in your capacity to think. Why? Because this is what you did to the whole climate. This is what you screwed up the whole earth. You screwed up the climate and everything, and we followed you for 100 years, industrial revolution and all that you said. And then finally, there is ice cap melting, sea level rising, global temperature has risen, and I followed you. Something wrong with you. Because this is the result of it. You have faith in your own intellect, in your own reasoning and everything, and you led the whole world without listening to God's instructions. You made your own laws. And you made everybody believe in the brain of the great person, the scientist and everybody. And this is what has happened. So I very much doubt that what you are thinking and telling people and leading people is in the long run truth at all. Because the results show it. The results show it. You cannot solve the problem. There's one virus comes around and just screws up everybody's life all over the planet and you don't know what to do. Somebody is confirming it here with a special type of whistle, humorous whistle. So how do I know? How can I have faith in a person like you who has faith in your brain and who is deciding the fate of the whole planet? I don't think you're capable of. But here, the Creator is speaking and saying, this is how it works. The moon nourishes the vegetables. The earth provides everything for you. It's magic. Earth. Plant a seed. Plant comes out, fruit comes out, flower comes out, tree comes out, gives you shade, fruits, flowers, gives you that. There's so many things. It's a great factory. It's a high-class production unit. And it does not produce one product alone, mechanically made by so many people who are killed just by being mechanized. It is coming in all shapes and forms and great varieties. It's coming. And you don't acknowledge it. You don't acknowledge the earth producing these things. You don't give Nobel Prize to the earth for producing so many wonderful things for so many centuries together. We want to give you special this thing. That is why people will worship the earth. That is why they will worship the cow. Why? Out of gratefulness. They know you're giving all these things. And they know that you are a servant of God, of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And I recognize you. You're doing your service so nicely. And because of you doing your service so nicely, everybody in this planet is provided with plenty of sun, moonshine, water, good air, vegetables, fruits. All this is coming from all of you. Therefore we worship. There's nothing wrong in worshipping. Those who deserve to be worshipped. Why? Because you follow the laws of God and you keep us all in abundance. Those who follow God's laws will always have that abundance mentality. As plenty to give to everybody. I'll never hoard it. I'll never feel that there's no, this thing, I know I have to keep it, I have to make money out of it. The type of feeling is all is very nasty feeling. The whole economy is based like that. Why? You don't respect the earth. You possess it. You want to take from it. You want to make money out of it. You want to keep that money with you. And you want to enjoy power, fame, glory, all for yourself. Other people will die, doesn't matter, I am great. That whole selfish, self-centered attitude. All this is very, very poor culture. But this is the place where this type of culture is practiced. Yata taror moola nisechanena. If I worship the Supreme Lord altogether, plenty will be there automatically. Because everybody gets nourished. The plan is to worship the center root. If you pour water there, if you nourish there, all the worship goes to the Supreme and everybody gets nourished. This is the simple understanding. So everybody worships the Supreme Lord. Everybody recognizes everything coming from Him. And everything goes back into Him. We are all His part and parcel, His children. We are a dependent reality. And if we accept this, even if you didn't accept, that is the truth. If you accept this, it becomes easier to live in this planet. It becomes a better place to live. That's all. It's actually very simple logic. That's why in India, you don't have to be PhD to understand this. Every small boy understands this. He is taught that in the Gurukula. Krishna is everything, I worship Him. That's all. Actually, he is far more knowledgeable and intelligent than the man who got the PhD and Nobel Prize. You can see that. Very simply, you can become knowledgeable. Very simply. If you have faith in the words of the Bhagavatam, in the words of the pure devotee, in the words of the Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna Himself. That's all. Period. There's nothing great required. Krishna has already provided everything for you. Wonderful vegetables, grains, fruits, flowers, minerals, everything is coming out. And there is enough for everybody. Some people don't have to hoard it and give it out to some people. If you give me money, I'll give it to you. It doesn't belong to you. First of all, it doesn't belong to you. Everything Ishavashyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. When you understand that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, that Ishavashya consciousness will make this whole world completely prosperous. Plenty will be there for everybody. Plenty will be there because production is happening only from the earth. It's not happening in the factory at all. All the natural resources from here are taken into the factory and something is produced and said, I only produced it. You're only the secondary producer or the tertiary producer. And if the primary product is cut off from you, none of you can survive. Now, no water. After another 10-15 years, people are going to fight for water. Right? So, the primary source of water is from where? If that is cut off, you cannot manufacture water in the laboratory. Mix the hydrogen and oxygen together and I'll produce water. No, you can't. Whole sea is full of water. More than 70% of the mass surface of this is water. But still you can't drink any drop of it. Isn't it? You can't drink one drop of it. That's seawater. That is evaporated by the sun, brought to you in a drinkable format. Water. And it flows down in the rivers. Look at the plan of the Lord. How human beings and all living entities will get water? I will distill it for you. From the entire sea, poof. And Prabhupada said, there are millions of tons of water floating in the sky as clouds. Which scientist can do this? Which scientist? Don't you see it? You don't see what magic is being done here. It's far more greater technology. Sun comes, sucks all the water, like it's mentioned here in the purport. And then holds it up in the sky in clouds. Then carries it to the particular place and drops it. Wherever. It's not according to what you want. It drops. And human people get water. Now you screwed up that cycle also. You spoil the soil. You spoil that water cycle. You spoil the sea by dumping all sorts of things into it. What a horrible creature you are. Why? Because you operate by your own laws. You have stopped the natural system. They'll call it biodiversity. All these politically correct terms. What do you mean biodiversity? Who set it up? Who set up the biodiversity? Why don't you just say it's God's creation? Listen to God. Do not say that God alone they'll not use. Climate change, biodiversity, environmental this thing. Why don't you just say, Baba, who made it? Who did it? Where did it all come from? You don't answer the moot question. So, in this culture, you'll have everybody very nicely saying, Bhagavan Odi Kripa, Ishan Allah, they'll tell. It's a very nice thing to say. You're in that consciousness that everything is happening by the Lord. That should be appreciated. Instead of dumping as all religious people, useless, on faith, this, that and all that. No. It's respecting, acknowledging God and living a life based on God's laws and His principles. That is what we should understand. We must live a life in keeping with God's instructions. It is not archaic, it is not old-fashioned. It is the truth. It's the truth. Foolish Indians are completely consumed by Western thought, Western education, and they're giving up their amazing culture, which is so deep, which is so scientific. So, in the Bhagavatam, in every shloka, this will be again and again din. And all these prayers and all these statements all keep on telling us that one thing. If you don't connect with the Supreme Absolute Truth, with Krishna, right, you will suffer. There is no doubt about it. Then in counter question, somebody says, as though those who are connected are not suffering. The counter question immediately is, as though those who are connected are not suffering. Yes, as long as you are here in this place, you will suffer. But Prabhupada said, no, the suffering of an orphan and the suffering of a person who is with his father is totally different, he said. A wonderful example he gave. The suffering of an orphan I don't have apave. I don't know. Your suffering is far greater than the person who's suffering run to Appa and is sheltered immediately by the Father. Both are suffering. But whose suffering is horrible and whose suffering is very light? Because he's not an orphan. He's got connection with the Supreme. Immediately he'll call Father and go away to him. That security you don't have. No, Father is not there. So suffer alone now. You have nobody to look up to. When virus attacks you, nobody will say you. Neither the greatest leaders in the world, the greatest doctors, the greatest scientists are just saying, coming, we're finding out. The vaccine is coming. And people are dying. Please hold on. It doesn't hold on. Crores of people will die. And after that, finally, they'll come up with something and then they will see, we found out. Of course, if you take so much time and so many lives you have to experiment and take, you'll definitely find out something. That is the meaning of orphan. That situation that happened is clear orphan, anath. Everybody was anath, orphaned. Whom to go to? That is when everybody started reading Bhagavad Gita. We had lot of people enrolling. I want to read Bhagavad Gita. Why? I don't know who is my father. None of these people can save me. Right? So that suffering and this suffering is different. It's very different. So in this way we should understand simple logic, simple understanding. This is Vedic intelligence. Vedic intelligence. Prabhupada brought that to the Western world and people were very stunned. This man is speaking very simple example he's giving and telling something very simple. We have all missed out completely. We think of so many complex, complicated things. But life is actually very simple if you accept God. If you don't accept God, it becomes increasingly complicated. Isn't it? Yeah. So let's use our common sense, which we can derive from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Dharma, Bhagavat wisdom. Let's use and live a simple living. Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking. It's not an ordinary phrase. Simple living does not mean you're an idiot, village idiot. No. You're living simply because you're thinking very high. Those who live very high have no thinking inside. Have no proper thinking inside. Om Tat Sat. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nittai Gaura Premanande. Okay. Any question or comment? Yeah. Veda means knowledge. Generally speaking, Vedanta means the conclusion of the Vedas, the conclusion of the knowledge given in the Vedas. Normally Vedanta means the Vedanta Sutra. The whole Vedas were written by Vyasadeva. He also is the author of the Vedanta Sutra. Written by Vyasadeva means compiled by him in various ways. And then he finally wrote the Vedanta Sutra. That is normally is what is Vedanta. Vedanta Sutra is, he took many important principles and wrote it down in simple formulas. Anavriti Shabdat, Atato Brahma Jignasa, like that. Formulas. So that is called Vedanta, the conclusion of everything. Vedanta Sutra. So great acharyas write commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Shankaracharya has written commentary, Madhvacharya has written commentary, Ramanujacharya has written commentary. Like that, all great personalities, Baladev Vidya Bhushan has written commentary. Every acharya will give an understanding of the Veda by writing a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra and explaining it. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra written by Vyasadeva himself. This is Vedanta, the end of the Vedas. Arthoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatartha Vinirnaya hai. This is Artha of Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, all same. So what we are holding in our hand is Vedanta. Veda means you will get lost if you read all this Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads and all that, if you read, you will not understand it so easily. That has been summarized and written as Vedanta Sutra, and that has been commented on by that same Vyasadeva under the advice of Narada Muni, his guru. That is Bhagavatam. Okay? Yeah. Any other question? Astrologer told, does it? I won't pay much attention to some astrologer told. He is what authority? He is Vyasadev's cousin brother? Who is astrologer? Astrologer, and if you give money, they'll speak anything you want. A lot of them in Kali Yuga, they'll speak according to the dakshina you give. The British people know when they came to India, they found that, wow, this community is very advanced and very deeply cultured, and the main people in this community are the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, what do they say? Everybody listen here. So they caught hold of the Brahmanas and bribed them. And they are Kali Yuga Brahmanas. Kudunga kaasu kudunga, anything I will do. So they made them. Similarly, they took from the Muslims Maulanas and the Pandits from the Brahmin caste. From each caste, they took all the best people who are learned and educated, gave them a lot of money, and said, interpret the scripture according to what we tell. They wrote. That's what is modern Hinduism. They wrote, changed everything and wrote. So in Kali Yuga, I mean, you can't rely much on. It is not like Vedic period that the Jyotishan said, because they will not take money and all that for casting your this thing and telling you the truth according to the horoscope. They don't care. They just give consultation. If you want, you give some money. That money also in the evening they'll donate to somebody. They're not bothered. So that type of high cultured Jyotishans are, I don't think, available now. So don't believe Jyotishan. Believe the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavat. I have only 7 births, it's not mentioned. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. It's mentioned. After many births, you will come to understand me. Right? It doesn't say that only 7 births there. I don't know, people keep on telling this, from where it is. Somewhere it must be mentioned. I've heard cat has got some 9 births or something. I don't know. I never knew human beings have only 7. Incidentally. Huh? Seven types of living. Okay. No. Each one is not only one janma. Many janmas will be birds, many janmas will be animals. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. No, you made a statement, because of Maya we are ignorant. So you have no desire to be ignorant? You have no desire to be ignorant? It is like that Lallu and Kallu, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told that story. 2 deadly fellows, the sons of the king, refusing to get educated. Lots of funny stories. In that, when the guru is sleeping, they'll go and smoke. And then, what is this smell? Guru will wake up and say, I don't know. He said, I don't know. And he said, show me your finger. See, somebody used my finger and smoked. And you are blaming me, he said. Somebody used my finger, put cigarette in between and smoked. For that you are blaming me. So your statement that Maya is keeping inside me. No, if you do not have a desire to be in ignorance, why will Maya do that to you? So don't think that you have no role to play in your being in Maya. You're a very innocent, nice fellow with a halo around your head. You just descended from the heavens and the Maya came and control you. Che, very bad. I'm such a nice fellow and it's all because of Maya. No. You have an investment in Maya. You want material gratification. So you have a stake. You hold some shares in it because it's giving you. So when you hold and have attachment, then you are held. Then you are held. Why? I have a stake in it. I want something from it. Okay? You are all, every one of us is contributing to the material world functioning by our share of sense gratification. So because we have investment and stake, you are held. Japatiya maya dhare. Krishna bhuliya bhogavancha kare. Nikatastha maya japatiya dhare. Krishna bhuliya. First thing you did is to forget Krishna on purpose. Why? Only if you forget Krishna can you do bhogavancha. Can I enjoy matter and sense gratification? Right? And Nikatastha maya, standing very close by material nature, immediately got hold of you. Japatiya dhare. Fatak got you. Why? Because you're having an investment. Any banker, if you say, I have money to invest, he'll catch you immediately. Isn't it? He'll say, this is the scheme we have, this, you can do this, you can do this. Come here, put it, invest here. You'll not say that? That's what you did. You have investment and you have made that investment, you got stuck. So don't think Maya is controlling me. You have got a stake in the matter and you're allowing Maya to control you. That is a real story. Now the story will change. Now you have to think about another story. You have to factor this inside. It will become a different story. Oh, I thought I am a very innocent person descended from the heavens. And I got spoiled all because of Maya. It's because of Maya. Krishna said it. It's because of Maya. Don't think like that. Factor yourself inside, your desire, your, great inclination to be forgetting Krishna and enjoying on your own. That is Krishna Bhuliya. It's mentioned very clearly. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Oh, I have to go somewhere. Yeah. Prabhupada gave the example of the vulture. Vulture flies very high. But what is the vulture thinking of? Where is dead body? Prabhupada said, vulture is thinking, flying very high and thinking, where is the dead body for me to sit down and peck on it and eat? Flesh. Dead flesh. Like that, it is not that everybody who is flying high is thinking high. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada flew high and was thinking high. Very rare. Very, very rare people. Most people who fly high in this material world are all thinking of enjoying for themselves. That is why they fly high. It is very rarely somebody is flying high, thinking high, and contributing for making other people high also. It's all very difficult to do. It's not so easy to get people like that. So, flying high in the material world means you are being recognized as being high by the people of the material world. In the spiritual world, in the spiritual setting inside the material world also, somebody is recognized as a high person because of his learning, because of his devotional service, because of his devotion. But that person will not be recognized in this world as high. They will consider him the lowest. Like I told you once, when we were registering this land, I had entered into a contract because I had only 50,000 with me, and I gave and signed the agreement. Then I have to, give so many lakhs of rupees, some 35 lakhs or something. And I told myself, no, Krishna, please donate it. Ask somebody to donate the money. And I was going around and asking people, and people were giving money. Swami, he will give you. I can see that Krishna is influencing this person to give the money like that. And then when I went to the registration office, and one fellow said, I already sold the land to somebody else after signing agreement. Then I said, how can you do this? It's not proper behavior. Then immediately he got angry and said, who are you to tell me? He told me in the registration office. I was a brahmachari and chanting with my japamala. Then he said, what do you have with you? Nothing with you. I have 3 crores investment. I have a big factory functioning. Who are you to tell me? This is an example of flying high. He's flying very high. He told me that. I said, you are right. I don't have anything with me. I don't have anything with me. And I told him, but everything belongs to Krishna, including what you have, 3 crores factory belongs to Krishna. He got even more angry. Even more angry. In the next 3 months, he refused to see me. Because you go and do what you want. These people I sold to, I'll give you the address. You go and get it from them. I'll not do it. I went to them and got it within 2 months. He said, how did you do it? One person was in America, other one was in Africa. How did you do it? I contacted them. And they gave it. Then I told him again, everything belongs to Krishna. And then I am sitting on property so big, belongs to Jagannath. I didn't do anything, it's not mine. I'll come, I'll go. Somebody will be using the temple and it'll go on like that. So if you know that nothing belongs to you, lot of things will come to you. If you know that it belongs to Krishna, everybody will come and give you. This is what I have seen. Arey, nothing belongs to me, belongs to Krishna. But that fellow is thinking, it belongs to me. Therefore, he is getting very less out of lot of work. I think we have got more property than he will ever have in his life. Belongs to Krishna. So this is a question of who is really flying high? Me or he? You can ask that question. So because I recognize Krishna is the Supreme Lord, I recognize this Prabhupada's movement, and it is no, whatever you give belongs to Krishna, it goes into the name of the trust. Of course, I get some benefit, I get Mahaprasadam, I eat every day. I have a good time. Music, I dance, I chant, I am fed by Lord Jagannath, I am looked after by him. And I am not the only one. If you want, you also can come and be looked after. I have no problem. This is flying high. Depending on Krishna, you fly high. If you depend only on yourself and your this thing, very low. Not much height you can fly. Fly and come down again. On the ground level only you'll be. So that's a practical example that I want to take and tell you. Om Tat Sat. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki